What's up, Taiwan? I'm Ethan Liu with 10 minutes of news from here in Taiwan and around the world. President-elect Ching-te's team has revealed the details of his inauguration ceremony next month. Tiffany Wong was at the announcement.
President-elect Ching-te and Vice President-elect Kim are set to be inaugurated on May 20th, taking the helm of leadership in Taiwan for the next 4 years. And they'll be starting off with much celebration. They'll begin with a ceremony at the presidential office where Tsai Ing-wen, the outgoing president, will be in attendance. There will also be some multicultural performances showcasing Taiwan's diversity throughout the day. Taiwan is arguably at its most prominent moment in the world stage, and there will be multilingual hosts for this inauguration who will be able to speak to foreign dignitaries and also foreign media in attendance. Now, later that day, there will be a state banquet held in Tainan, that's in the south of Taiwan, and the distinguished foreign guests will also be invited to attend that banquet. And Tainan is the place where Ching-te was mayor for 7 years. It's kind of where he got his start in politics, and so it'll be a way of him coming home and also to share the sort of specialties in Tainan, especially the food. They're hoping to showcase the potential of Taiwan's democracy and celebrate yet another successful election. Howard Zhang and Tiffany Wong in Taipei for TaiwanPlus.
The Marine Brigade has apologized for restricting overseas travel for its troops ahead of the country's biggest annual defense drills after it triggered a slew of complaints. The Kuang exercise will take place in late July. The brigade banned trips abroad starting a month before the drill, a change from the 2-week period where troops were advised not to travel overseas. The brigade's commander has apologized for any misunderstanding, saying the announcement was meant to remind troops to carefully plan their departure date. The number of people looking at renovating their homes to better withstand an earthquake has spiked in the weeks following the Hualien earthquake. John Van Trist has this story.
This Taipei building is one of over 200 nationwide deemed either unsafe or uninhabitable after the Hualien earthquake early this month. Inspectors think it can be saved if it's reinforced, but the details are still being worked out, leaving residents uneasy.
它的外皮是像纸糊的一样，这个建商要有责任，建商要负起责任。
But it isn't just residents of damaged buildings looking into retrofitting or full-scale rebuilds. Inquiries were already on the rise last year, up 70% in northern cities like Taipei. This month's magnitude 7.2 earthquake has sped up this trend, with inquiries doubling since the main shock on April 3rd.
它会有2个部分呢，一个就是大家比较关心的重建的部分哈，那另外一个就是有一些可能震完之后会有一些需要修缮补强的，所以这方面都有相关的这些电话的询问跟需求。
The real estate industry sees urban renewal projects as a way to boost property values as well as earthquake resilience. Some also see it as a way to speed up the slow process of renovating Taiwan's aging houses.
围老上面的推行会比起都更来的容易因为它可能没有一些面积啊，或是没有一些这个户别上面的限制甚至是说它周围的一些这个道路上面的一些限制性可能在围老上面都会相对比较宽松一点。
And with monetary incentives set to run out next year, this surge in interest may continue even after aftershocks subside. Delphine Chen and John Van Trieste for TaiwanPlus.
Labor groups and workers have gathered in Taipei to demand greater protections for people with workplace injuries and to call for reform of workplace accident laws. John Van Trist has this report as well.
Outside the legislature, workers who were severely injured on the job gather with their supporters to demand change. It's 2 days until the World Day for Safety and Health at Work, and these protesters say that while Taiwan has legal protections in place for those injured in the workplace, they don't cover all workers. That leaves many struggling to find new work and support themselves. Mr. Chen, who lost both his hands after being electrocuted at work, is among those who say they've been left feeling helpless ever since.
劳工可以有一个很好的对家庭、对社会有很好的帮助。 可是因为职灾的关系，自己已经在能力方面受限了，还要拖累家庭、拖累家属。
These protesters say the problem isn't new. Between 1980 and 2023, 22,000 people died in workplace accidents in Taiwan. In that same time, 158,000 survivors of accidents were left unable to work. As some of those gathered in Taipei say, though, not all occupational disabilities are the result of a single accident. Some take years to appear and be counted. This former miner says the medical bills that follow can be hard to shoulder when added on to day-to-day expenses.
当矿工有80%都会得矽肺症，那矽肺症不是你当时就发生，矽肺症是随着年代、随着年龄而增加的。像现在我81岁了，我在讲话可以，我走路就不能讲话。
These protesters want to bring attention to what they say are the shortcomings of a law called the Labor Occupational Accident Insurance and Protection Act. But they also want to put pressure on Taiwan's incoming labor minister, He Pei-shan, to act on injured workers' behalf.
他就说了一句话：“只要政府在，劳保就不会倒。”哦，其实我觉得这个的意识形态有点仿佛，就是说我们工人只关心钱。可说真的，我们工商协会不禁要问：哦，我们如果有钱没有命花，这样子是对的吗？
With Labor Day protests expected in just a week, this won't be the last time the incoming government, still a month from taking office, will hear workers speak their minds. Chris Ma and John Van Trieste for TaiwanPlus.
Recent university graduates in Taichung are facing the lowest wages out of Taiwan's major cities. Maddie Anstruther has more.
Taiwanese students are known for their diligent study habits. But in Taiwan's central city, Taichung, they may be starting to wonder whether a college diploma is worth the effort. Recent Labour Ministry figures show that the average monthly wage of a university graduate in Taichung is just $1,100, the lowest for the group in all of Taiwan's major cities. It also has the highest proportion of new graduates earning just the minimum wage. Low wages are an issue for more than just this one city. Taiwan's wages have fallen behind its peer economies across the board, despite its highly profitable companies.
The reason why Taiwan's wages are so low is because the profits are actually very high as compared to other advanced countries. But then the problem is that Taiwan's unionization rate is so low, there's very little bargaining power.
But just how low are the wages? South Korea has a similar GDP per capita to Taiwan, but the hourly minimum wage is 25% higher. And the median monthly salary there is almost 35% higher. In January, Taiwan boosted the minimum wage, yet high inflation has meant that wages actually went down in real terms last year. This loss in spending power can take a heavy toll on workers.
I think for workers, it does affect their ability to be more engaged at work, to find happiness at work. It also results in more brain drain and Taiwan losing talent to other countries.
Despite these challenges, back in Taichung, not all students seem that worried.
觉得算是它正在一个开发阶段吧，就像是有很多的从化区，对，然后我觉得它未来的潜力应该会蛮大的。
The city and the country will have to wait and see if the next generation can keep their optimism once they get into the workforce. Dolphine Chen, Chris Gorin, and Maddie Anstruther for TaiwanPlus.
American tech giant Nvidia has chosen Taiwan for its first research and development center in Asia. Sources in Taiwan say the government's active recruitment of investment played a key role in the deal. Reports say the new center will establish the largest supercomputer in the country and should help collaboration between domestic and foreign semiconductor manufacturers. Nvidia has previously worked with Taiwanese chipmaker TSMC to develop chips for artificial intelligence. Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. Before we sign off, take a look at thousands of indigenous demonstrators in Brazil marching to defend their ancestral lands, which are threatened by a railway project. I'm Ethan Liu. Take care, and I'll see you next time.